Another easy RC from this lot, make sure that you solve the previous RC first, because I would say that that is hands down the easiest. In this particular RC, again, it's a straightforward scientific RC. We need to understand the concepts which are there, but the writing is, to use the same word, pretty straightforward. There's no complexity in terms of multiple people's views, or, narratively, there isn't anything which is complicated. The information is clearly presented to us and we can understand it. One or two questions you might find, to be a little bit complicated, especially if you haven't solved too many of these past RCs. This is one which sometimes students struggle with, or they are torn between a couple of options. And this is another where again the question seems a little bit complicated, but there is a way to simplify it, and we will be solving this question, and I'll show you how to do that. In the meantime, I'll have this question open. It's a meaning question. Now, what I call a meaning question, of course, there's no vocabulary. It will be a phrase or, one or two sentences from the passage, which we need to understand in the context of the passage, whatever we've read so far. So we look out for these, right? So the easiest thing probably would be to look out for fuel use. And as soon as we come across this, we will try to solve this question. The remaining, as you saw, majority of them are either inferential or direct multiple. So we will be solving them once we are done with the passage. And now let's actually start off. Keeping time accurately comes with a price. So it is clocks or watches that keep time, and there is a price to pay if they are basically measuring this time accurately. The maximum accuracy of a clock is directly related to how much disorder or entropy it creates every time it ticks. So clocks are actually creating disorder, they are creating entropy, and there is some relation between these, how accurate the clock is and how much disorder or entropy is created. We have an expert that's mentioned here, Natalia Ares. She and her colleagues made this discovery using a tiny clock with an accuracy that can be controlled. The clock consists of a 50 nanometer thick membrane of silicon nitride vibrated by an electric current. Every time it moves, that is how they are counting and all of that. Now, since this is not a science exam, even though this is a scientific passage, I'm not going to get too much into how the clock was designed. If at all we have any question or any option, we can always come back to this part. What is important for us is this bit, right, which is actually connected to the first one or two sentences. The researchers found that as they increased the clock's accuracy, the heat produced in the system grew, increasing the entropy of its surroundings by jostling nearby particles. If a clock is more accurate, you are paying for it somehow, said Ares. In this case, you pay for it by pouring more ordered energy into the clock, which is then converted into entropy. Now remember, entropy is disorder. By measuring time, we are increasing the entropy of the universe, says Ares. The more entropy there is in the universe, the closer it may be to its eventual demise. Maybe we should stop measuring time, says Ares. The scale of the additional entropy is so small, though, that there's no need to worry about its effect, she says. So before we get into, this part about like the universe ending and all, let's first understand what is happening over here. Now, the example that they have given us, there is this clock. And for this clock to measure time very accurately, right, so that it's like, as exact as possible, there is more ordered energy that is being poured. And as a result, the disorder or the entropy is actually increasing. Specifically in this clock, what is happening, as they are pouring more energy, there is more heat. And as these particles like next to it are hot, they are jostling the next particles, or they're moving them and so on. And there is more disorder in the system. This is something which it is easy for us to visualize, right? If you have hot, energetic, excited particles, they're hitting the nearby atoms or molecules, and the same thing is happening. And then instead of maybe having atoms sort of like spaced out properly, the disorder is increasing, right? They are moving all around. Or in short, when it comes to clocks, accuracy is something which increases the entropy or the disorder, right? I'm writing directly proportional. You can also write something like an upwards arrow or whatever symbol you are comfortable with. As long as you understand this, it's enough. Now we also get this slightly more, weightier concept that as there's more and more entropy or more and more disorder in the universe, that makes the universe, closer to ending. But when it comes to clocks, the extra amount of entropy that's produced is very little. So it's not something that we need to worry about too much. The increase in entropy in timekeeping may be related to the arrow of time, one more expert saying. you'll notice that, just as my techniques, I'm not focusing too much on the names, right? It's a waste of time. No one's going to ask what is the person's name and give you options like Marcus Huber and, Marcus Huberman and Mark something or different options, because everybody will get it right. And a lot of times these foreign names, they will slow us down, right? So in the school mindset, we have this tendency that, oh, we've got to remember names and dates. For CAT, please don't remember, this is an open book exam. The RC is right in front of you. So you will have some direct questions, but they won't be as simple as, one option with this name and one option with some other name, right? Those sort of tricky questions will not come at the CAT level. So don't waste too much time focusing on it. But coming back to this paragraph, the increase in entropy in timekeeping may be related to the arrow of time. Now, what is this? It has been suggested that the reason that time only flows forward, not in reverse, is that the total amount of entropy in the universe is constantly increasing, creating disorder that cannot be put in order again. So again, what is happening? Initially, let's say the universe was more ordered. Maybe these are the stars or planets, and I'm just visualizing something random. As it's becoming more and more disordered, there is no way to go back, right? We can't do this. We can only go forward. We can go from a more ordered state to a less ordered state. This again is a little easy for us to intuitively understand, right? If you have a lot of, let's say, a lot of books or whatever objects that are put together neatly, what happens as time sort of passes away? They can get more disordered, right? You might put them back in order, but they're not going to automatically get back ordered. Or just visualize, like, if there's a stack of, say, 10 coasters or something that you're putting one above the other, right? What is more likely to happen as time passes? They'll just get scattered around, they could fall, right? So disorder tends to increase. And they're saying that could be one reason why time is also only moving forward, because we cannot go from, we can go from an ordered state to a disordered state, but we cannot actually come back. Now, while this is important, of course, this is almost like a related, like a side concept which is there, right? So let's get back to clocks. The relationship that the researchers found is a limit on the accuracy of the clock. So it doesn't mean that a clock that creates the most possible entropy would be maximally accurate. Hence, a large inefficient grandfather clock isn't more precise than an atomic clock. It's a bit like fuel use in a car. Just because I'm using more fuel doesn't mean that I'm going faster or further, right? So what is happening here? If we want to increase the accuracy of a clock, we will increase the entropy also. But the reverse relationship is not true. It won't happen that if you increase the entropy, the accuracy will increase. In fact, you could have an inefficient grandfather clock, like maybe, an old or really big clock that could be bringing in a lot of entropy. Why? Maybe it's using a lot of energy, but that doesn't mean that it is more efficient, right? So you cannot measure the entropy of I'll just repeat that. So you can look at accuracy of a clock and say that, okay, there is a chance that, this clock is creating more entropy. Or if you take one clock and you increase its accuracy, then, there's more disorder, more entropy that's created. But you cannot measure the entropy and say that, oh, the clock which is sort of generating more disorder is going to be more accurate, right? And this analogy is something which actually makes it very clear, right? So I was actually visualizing, like, a really old car and also a big truck, right? So these are vehicles which would use more fuel. So if you have, like, a new car, you've recently bought it, it's going to be more fuel efficient than, say, if you have like a 15-year-old car lying around. Now, because that 15-year-old car is using more fuel, it doesn't mean that, it's going to be faster or it's going to take you a longer distance, right? So the reverse relationship, essentially this relationship is not there. And now we can answer this question. So the purpose of this example essentially is what I was saying, to help us understand this previous part, that you will have a clock which, if we increase its accuracy, then the entropy that it creates will increase. But if you have a clock which has more entropy, we can't say that that is going to be more accurate. So that is the intention of this example. Just as a car that uses more fuel is not necessarily going to be faster or, take us a longer distance, the same thing is true for clocks as well. So we want to look for something like that. If you go faster in a car, you will tend to consume more fuel. Now, this is what it is, right? So this is similar to accuracy and entropy. But the converse, the opposite, is not necessarily true. In the same way, increased entropy does not necessarily mean greater accuracy of the clock. This is perfect, right? So entropy is not leading to more accuracy. Accuracy is leading to entropy. So this ideally should be the right choice. But let's quickly read the other options as well. The further you go in a car, the more fuel you use. In the same way, the faster you go in the car, the less time you use. This is all factual, but this is not the reason that we have this analogy. So we'll eliminate it. If you measure the speed of a car with a grandfather clock, the result will be different than if you measured it with an atomic clock. They've just made a hodgepodge, right? They've just tried to combine cars and clocks over here. And again, this is something which is probably factual, but we can eliminate it because that is not the intention, that is not the purpose behind this particular analogy. The further and faster you go in a car, the greater the amount of fuel you will use, the greater the amount of heat produced, and hence the greater the entropy. So this is telling us the accuracy to entropy part, but is not telling us the opposite, which is the entropy to accuracy part. So again, we can eliminate it and we will go with the first option. And now please remember that over the last few years, CAT examiners have been doing this more and more, where you have options which are factually correct, and sometimes you will have options which are even given in the passage itself, but they will not answer the question, right? So here, for example, we are being asked, why is this example given? So you have to look for the best explanation. Sometimes we have questions where we ask reasons. So if you go back and you watch the CAT 2023 RCs, which will be there somewhere above, and you'll also get it in case if you're watching it on YouTube, you'll get the entire playlist in the description, so you could check those out. And there you'll see that there are a lot of questions where we are asked which of the following is a reason, or all of the following have been given as reasons except. And what they will do is the wrong answer. It could be something which will be given in the passage, but it wouldn't be a reason. So that is something which you need to look out for. What is the function of this sentence? Now, if you want to practice more, functions of different sentences, not something that I have in my RC lesson, but I have explained it in the sentence insertion lesson, so you could go for it. You can also practice this using the daily POV. And if you aren't a Mockat student, but you're watching it on YouTube, or you're just watching these videos for free, again, one thing which you will have access to is the daily POV. So there also you will see a lot of the times I will structure the supporting points into advantages, disadvantages, reasons, cause, effect, and so on. So that is also something which you can try to emulate, and that will help you a lot in questions like these. So thus far we've learned that when it comes to any clock, if we look to increase the accuracy, the entropy will also increase. And that is something which is making the end of the universe slightly, it'll occur slightly quicker. But the amount of entropy or disorder is very, very less. It's at an extremely tiny scale. But the reverse relationship is not true. More entropy, or if a clock is creating more entropy, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is more accurate. When the researchers compared their results with theoretical models developed for clocks that rely on quantum effects, they were surprised to find that the relationship between accuracy and entropy seemed to be the same for both. We can't be sure yet that these results are actually universal though, because there are many types of clocks for which the relationship between accuracy and entropy has been tested. So when it comes to I think we spoke about atomic clocks, and we spoke about this particular clock, but I don't think any type of clock is mentioned. But we know this relationship is true for, I'll put it as regular clock, and it's also true for quantum clocks. At least theoretically, we have tested it out and we figured out, researchers rather have figured out that the same relationship is going to be there. However, there are other types of clocks for which we don't know. So we can't say that this is a universal effect. It's still unclear how this principle plays out in real devices such as atomic clocks, which push the ultimate quantum limits of accuracy. So this relationship is true, but then it's not very clear how it works out. Understanding this relationship could be helpful for designing clocks in the future, particularly those used in quantum computers and other devices where both accuracy and temperature are crucial, says Iris. This finding could also help us understand more generally how the quantum world and the classical world are similar and different in terms of thermodynamics and the passage of time. So why are we speaking about thermodynamics? Probably because the second law of thermodynamics has to do with entropy. I think it's the second law, vaguely remember. But again, we don't need to delve into the science of it. But what is important here is that finding this relationship is very important when it comes to quantum clocks or quantum computers. And that is something which makes sense, right? These are basically quantum particles or very tiny particles, subatomic particles. So, and we already know that if there are these smaller particles which become hot, then they have more energy, so they can jostle or they can move other particles. So imagine if that happens for a quantum computer, right? You could have one quantum particle which is impacting many others. So for a quantum computer or a quantum clock, the accuracy would of course be important, but at the same time the amount of heat generated would be important. So there is a very practical application of this entire relationship. The other thing that it helps is comparing classical physics, or the classical world and the quantum world. Now quantum mechanics and quantum computers is something which, no matter what your background, I would suggest that just get a good understanding. You can Google it, you could ask maybe ChatGPT, or a better thing to do would be just on YouTube itself, just figuring out. We don't again need to go super in depth into the science of it, but it's good to have an understanding, because typically we do have science or tech RCs that come up, and this is something for which, I mean, we might not have something in 2024, but we could have an RC in 2025, because this is a topic which is definitely going to become more and more popular as the research into quantum computers becomes more and more in depth, and we actually start seeing more quantum computers. But coming back to this RC, so here what are we learning? The relationship, of course, we've discussed. It's something which applies for quantum computers, as quantum clocks, sorry, as well as regular clocks. But there are other types for which we don't know. But for quantum clocks and computers, it's something which is particularly important for us to determine, one, to design these computers, and second, to figure out what is similar and what is different in the classical world and in the quantum world. So now that we are done with the RC, let's solve the remaining questions. Which one of the following sets of words and phrases serves best as keywords of the passage? So here you have to just think of what is the passage about, right? And a lot of the times these are things which are there in the order in which it is written. So if your initial paragraphs are referring to something and then your next paragraph is referring to something else, then you would typically expect to see these words in that order and not jumbled up. I've seen many times that the incorrect answers, especially I think in CAT 2022, this was common, and again you can check out those RCs here itself, where we have had wrong options which are wrong primarily because the order is incorrect. So now looking at these options, we are of course looking at something around clocks and accuracy and entropy and maybe the different types of clocks or something like that. The arrow of time is also something which we might have. So let's look out for that. Electric current, heat, quantum effects. All of these are things which are there in this passage but not very relevant. This first one was about the clock when the testing was done, and heat again. Quantum effects, of course, coming to from here, but the crux of the passage is not captured here. So let's keep looking. Silicon nitride, energy, grandfather clock. Again, a lot of words from the passage. Silicon nitride again referring to the example, but the clear relationship is not mentioned. Measuring time, accuracy, entropy. This makes sense. When it comes to measuring time, accuracy influences entropy. So this can be the right answer, unless option 4 is even better. Membrane, arrow of time, entropy. This is a little bit jumbled up, right? Accuracy, entropy is the relation that we are looking for in the context of measuring time. Just writing entropy by itself is not good enough. And arrow of time could have been written as a separate point. In fact, here if arrow of time would have been written, then it would have been perfect because that other concept would also be there. But membrane, arrow of time, entropy doesn't make as much sense. So we can eliminate that and go for the third option. Now this question, as I was saying, there's an added layer of complexity here. So instead of saying none of the following statements can be inferred from the passage except, you can just cancel out this none and except and read it as which one of the following statements can be inferred from the passage. So all that means is none of these 4 can be inferred except. That means one can be inferred. So we just need to find which one option can be inferred from the passage. Now CAT examiners tend to use the term inferred a little loosely. So we are looking for either an option which is given in the passage or something which we could infer or conclude based on what is given in the passage. Either would be fine. The arrow of time has not yet been tested for atomic clocks. Now we know that this accuracy entropy relationship is something which is still unclear when it comes to atomic clocks. But arrow of time is not something which is being tested with regards to clocks. What is the arrow of time? The arrow of time is this theory which says that time moves forward because the total amount of entropy in the universe is constantly increasing, right? So that has nothing to do with clocks. So this is something which is, just a little haphazard. They've just taken stuff from the passage and kept it, but it doesn't make sense. So let's look for something better. Quantum computers are likely to produce more heat and hence more entropy because of the emphasis on their clock's accuracy. So this is something which we can infer from here. We are being told that more accuracy is crucial for quantum computers. Now, if for quantum computers more accuracy is crucial or is being emphasized, then we know as a result of that what will happen. The entropy will also increase, and this entropy can be in the nature of heat. Now, this is the only thing which again we need another, we need to infer it, because here we are saying that temperature is crucial. So we know that entropy can be sort of like, not displayed, but I can say that entropy can play out in multiple ways. So one way would be heat, but disorder can happen in many ways. Like, earlier on in this video, I had given this example. If there are like, coins or something which are stacked up, right? If the coins are like moved around or they fall, then also that is more disorder. There's not going to be heat generated. The heat is one way in which entropy can sort of like, show itself. But we can infer that in case of quantum computers, the entropy or the disorder will be in the form of heat, because here we are being told that temperature is crucial. So the only reason why we would worry about this is if that extra entropy is in the form of heat. So somewhat like this, you can infer and we can see that this could be the right answer. But let's look at the other two options first. Grandfather clocks are likely to produce less heat and hence less entropy because they're not as accurate. This is not true. More accuracy, more entropy. But we have been told that a grandfather clock could release more entropy because it is inefficient. Accuracy or increasing accuracy is one of the reasons for disorder, right? An inefficient clock could also take in more energy and create more disorder. So this we can say for sure is not the right answer. Now looking at the last one, a clock with a 50 nanometer thick membrane of silicon nitride has been made to vibrate, producing electric currents. This is something that's given over here. The clock consists of a 50 nanometer thick membrane of silicon nitride. So 50 nanometer silicon nitride, yeah, vibrated by an electric current. So if you see, this part is in reverse. We are being told here that the clock is vibrating and that is producing electric current, whereas the passage is telling us that it's an electric current which is vibrating it. So it's not producing electric current, it's the electric current which is vibrating the clock, right? So this is wrong, and this is something which, trust me, I do it every year in CAT or all the other exams that I give. When you have a factual option, just go back and check like this, right? So you will avoid silly mistakes that way. It'll take you 10-15 seconds extra, but it's worth it because you end up maybe going from a -1 to a +3, especially if you were a little confused with the second option here. But now, even if we are confused with the second option, since we know that 1, 3, and 4 are wrong for sure, we can go for this. The author makes all of the following arguments in the passage except that. That means 3 out of these 4 options are going to be given in the passage. We'll eliminate that. Whatever's left becomes the right answer. The relationship between accuracy and entropy may not apply to all clocks. I was just discussing this. While more accuracy will lead to more entropy, the reverse might not be true. And so that doesn't mean that, if there's a clock which generates more entropy, it's going to be more accurate. So this is an argument which is made in the passage, so we can eliminate it. Researchers found that the heat produced in the system is the price paid for increasing accuracy of measurement, right? Now, the price is actually more entropy and not heat, right? Again, this is something which I was just discussing, where heat is one of the ways in which entropy can be generated. And I gave you an example where entropy can be generated in a different way. This is probably one option where we do need to have that little bit of a scientific understanding of what is entropy and how that's different from heat. Otherwise, it could be easy to think that, yes, this is also an argument that is given in the passage. But this, if you see, is not given in the passage. So ideally, this should be the right answer. There's no difference in accuracy between an inefficient grandfather clock and an atomic clock. Now, this is something which I'll admit, when I read this RC, I spent a lot of time going over this passage because I was like, okay, this is something which is wrong, but this is also something which is wrong. But somewhere it is sort of suggested, right? Because what is being told here is a large inefficient grandfather clock isn't more precise than an atomic clock. So probably the interpretation here is that, based on the entropy that is generated, we cannot sort of figure out the accuracy, and we can say that this is something which is, this argument is made in the passage. You can also very directly interpret it as, if this isn't more precise, then this is sort of like, as precise, and then you can go for that. So either way, we can eliminate it. And looking at the last option, in designing clocks for quantum computers, both precision and heat have to be taken into account. This is something which is given straightforward. We've been told that both accuracy and temperature are crucial for quantum computers. So we will eliminate this option as well and go for the second one here. And that's it for this RC.